Ooh, I think I need to get some water before I get this started because this is going to be a hot mess. Hey fam, what's up? This is Robert Anton, robertanton.com, here with your X Factor commentary from a singer. Let me tell you, this was the top 7 elimination show, and there was no lack of drama, there was no lack of heatedness, there was no lack of attitude, there was just a lot of stuff going on, and I'm going to tell you just a little bit about it. But for those of y'all who are in a rush, let me tell you, Drew went home. I'm telling you right up front, I'm laughing. I'm not happy that she went home, let me tell you. But this going back to Simon and his shenanigans with some other girls, it's his fault. I'm going to get into what happened during the show, and then we will get along to what I think about Simon's problem at this moment. So we opened up the show and Steve announced that over 16 million people voted. They started out with the MJ production because last night was Michael Jackson night, and they did Man in the Mirror, which they've done before. Melanie performed, but I guess they decided there weren't enough songs to choose from, so they chose this one. And it started out with Drew, who I wrote it didn't work in her voice. It was a little low at first and it sounded a little off. And the only person that was worse was Rene, right? I'm sorry, I'm just laying it out there. Somebody started singing in the wrong place while Melanie Amaro was singing. I put that into it. Of course, we had the obligatory Astro rapping. So it was an okay performance. It wasn't great, you know, it wasn't terrible. Then they had the recap of, you know, what happened last night with the added backstage footage and all that good stuff. And they had more of the Michael Jackson Kids reaction. And to clear up something last night, I called Blanket a she because I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. I say it was a Freudian slip for those who understand. But, yeah, I can't go any further than that. Yeah, sorry about that, Blanket. Blanket is a boy. All right, now that we got that all cleared up. Steve did a plug for the new MJ album, which is called Immortal. Since he plugged it, I'm going to plug it too. It's called Immortal. And Cirque du Soleil is also touring with a worldwide show called I think it's the Immortal Worldwide Tour or something like that, and they are using all the music from the album. And they plugged the Pepsi challenge, and what's going to happen is the contestants are going to be doing 2 songs from now on, and you can go to the website, and I'll try to put down the website. I think it's xfactorusa.com. And you can vote on the song that they'll be doing, one of the 2 songs that each contestant will be doing. So now we get to the results, and he calls everybody out, introducing everybody all over again that we don't know already. And Rene is safe, and he looked really surprised. My mouth dropped to the floor. I was just like, okay, whatever. Then Melanie Amaro was safe, and then Rachel Crow was safe. Commercial. Came back and Tinie Tempah, a UK artist, performed Pass Out. I wrote it was a jumpy selection. I was thinking jump. He was just very jumping, like a jumping bean, boy. I liked there was a very, it was an infectious electro sound, I called it, that the music, it was just for me, it was just very infectious. I kind of like, it was something like I want to go to like the club and just chill out to, you know what I'm saying? Chill out, yeah, do the bounce or whatever. And the light show was just crazy. I was tweeting on Twitter that, you know, I was getting epileptic fits from from the light show. Whatever. Steve Jones, which I found funny, said he owned the artist album and it was amazing or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, where'd you get this album, Steve? He doesn't seem like the rap kind of guy. Next, we went back for results and Josh was safe. So the bottom 3 were Drew, Astro, and Marcus. And Astro got the least amount of votes, so he went home immediately. Next up, they had to sing for Survivor. Went to commercial, came back, and Drew sang Listen to Your Heart. I wrote the audience was going wild. I mean, they were really like screaming and hollering the whole time. I don't know how the judges heard anything much. I wrote she actually got a move. Oh, she got her move on. She went around the judges. She walked down the stage and walked around and back up. And it wasn't a whole lot, but It was like she hasn't moved that much ever. Reminded me of how Leroy, trying to be saved, actually moved a little bit to the front of the stage and moved back instead of just standing there singing. A total like kind of change from their regular mode, which, you know, kind of me felt like pandering, and it felt a little desperate to me. Her voice was a little shaky in the beginning and she missed the key change, but she finished okay. She finished nicely, but as soon as she finished singing the song, she was shaking like a leaf, and I'm sorry, my heart went out to her. I just felt so bad for her. Next up, Marcus Canty performed. He did neither one of us, Gladys Knight, and you know what? He gave me chills in this one. It was heartfelt and it was rough. I mean, his voice was a little rough. It almost sounded to me like he was going to like lose it, you know what I'm saying? But he was really singing for his life. I mean, just really was. It was really touching to me, and I was just, from that performance, between just the two of them tonight, I felt like he should have stayed. So we come to the judges' votes, and of course, LA booted Drew, sent her home. Simon booted Marcus. Naturally, we knew that. Nicole booted Drew, and Paula booted Drew. So Drew goes home. Marcus is safe. Simon is pissed. Walks off from the table, you know, then he goes up to her, and, you know, Steve Jones is saying, you know, want to say anything, and Simon's pushing the mic away. He doesn't want to talk at all. And Drew was just crying, and I kind of knew this was going to happen. I said it before because, you know, every single time she's almost on the verge of tears to begin with until her name is called as safe. So I knew that was going to happen. She just totally broke down and everything like that. And Simon didn't even want to speak. He was pissed at everybody. And I know he said at the table that it was his fault, you know, and he was begging the girls to save her. And I'm like, what the? Hold on a minute. Wait. I need a break. So you mean to tell me that Simon, instead of telling these ladies who he has chosen as judges for their artistic talents, is going to beg them to save his contestant after he's been making all of these choices, bad choices, for Drew, and get mad at them that they don't save her? And his smug ass, excuse my language for y'all of those of y'all who've never heard me curse before, his smug ass this whole time saying he knows what he's doing, and oh, they don't know. And you know, this is just Simon Hater Night. Let me tell you one thing, Simon. If anybody gets to watch this all the way to the end, let me tell you one thing. You do not know it all. And I have been saying since the judges' houses that Drew should not be sitting in a seat singing anything. That is not a way for a performer to present, ever. I was taught this in Cleveland School of Arts in choir, that you do not sit down and sing, okay? Even when we were sitting and warming up and everything in choir, we had to sit on the edge of our chairs and be sitting up straight, supporting and everything in order to sing. This is the way that we train. Drew was sitting in them chairs back like she was just sitting at home watching the TV, chilling out. Just no kind of poise, no kind of anything. And you told her, and you did not give her notes and warn her that this is not the way. Yes, she has a beautiful voice, but she's very young and trainable, and you were not training her well. That's why she went home. She said herself that Michael Jackson would not be sitting down doing this song. He would be out there going to the audience, bringing it to the people, and you did not allow her to do that. So yes, it's your fault that she went home, and you have no one to blame but yourself. But all of these people up there are pretty good to pretty great, and somebody has to go home every week. So I don't know why Simon thinks that none of his people are going to go home, that he's not going to lose anybody, and that he can sway the other judges or even the girls or even Paula to vote in his favor. I just don't understand that, and I don't understand why he would be pissed. If he's going to be pissed at somebody, he needs to be pissed at himself. And I am so dead serious about that. I enjoyed Drew's voice last night, but I did not enjoy her sitting on that chair looking uncomfortable, and I knew she wanted to get up and do it, and she should have followed her instincts, got out of that chair and performed that song the way she wanted to perform it, but she was not allowed to, and that is the reason why she was in the bottom. Every single week she was doing exactly the same thing, and all of the judges were continually telling Simon that she needs to branch out, she needs to change, she needs to have some kind of versatility, and he was not listening, so it was his fault that she went home. If you thought that she had the tools needed in order to win this contest, then you needed to be guiding her in the direction to use use those tools. So that is my little rant. I am glad that Marcus is safe, because whatever people say about Marcus, Marcus gets up there and performs. He lays it on the line. He does his thing. Michael Jackson night, he even went out of his comfort zone, did his little backflip. I mean, just going over the line. And tonight when he did his performance, he gave me chills. This was heartfelt. This boy sang for his life, for his very life, and it saved his life. So with that being said, I want to know what you think about this very thing. Do you think that it's Simon's fault that Drew went home? Or do you think that it was that she's too young and she didn't really have the talent or the know-how to carry it off? And next week, Steve Jones said that Lenny Kravitz and Mary J. Blige are going to be in the studio, which implies to me that they are not going to be performing or just performing, that they are going to be helping out or mentoring with the contestants. So let's hope that is what is going to happen, that they are going to be mentoring. My name is Robert Anton. I do the So You Want to Be a Singer series here on YouTube. You can also check out my originals playlist. And it's Christmas, so please come and support my Christmas music. I'm doing some collabs. I'm doing some contests. If you want to sing for me, please join my contest. I'm giving away some great prizes. I'm out. RobertAnton.com. Woo! Got me all excited. So I'll see y'all soon.